Welcome to Elks 101. Another episode of ElksCentral, breaking this one down.
Reagan, touchdown Edmonton! Fajardo, Dunbar, back on top go the Elks!
Okay, welcome in ElksCentral, November 14th. Declan, Eddie, Rick, joined in studio by a very, very, very special guest. Former Crusader, former Bengal, former Elk, Eskimo, let me get that right, former Eskimo, and former NBA training camp attendee. Is that right? Is that the way to describe it? Couple tryouts. Matt O'Donnell joining us in studio. And I got to say, if you're just listening as opposed to watching the video, I've never felt so small in my life. I'm sandwiched in between Eddie and Matt right now. I'm not that tall. I'm only like 5'9", but I got to say, I'm looking every bit of 5'4" right now in between these two.
Checking out the video just to see the set.
Yeah, go check this one out on YouTube. If you generally just listen to the podcast, go check this one out on YouTube. Even just check out these first 30 seconds and then head back to Apple, because it's pretty crazy. I feel like PFT commenter right now. I don't know if that reference is going to be lost on you guys, but it's pretty bad. Matt, I mean, thank you so much for joining us. Like, we love doing these sit downs with the alum. Awesome to have you in here. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm stoked to be here. You know, it's I'm missing that football itch. You know, I feel like we were just at games at Commonwealth the other day, tailgating, having a good time in the alumni room, watching the game and cheering the boys on. Obviously, the season didn't go how we wanted to, but we saw a lot of progress in the previous years, and it looks like the roster's going the right way.
How many games do you get out to a year?
Pretty much all of them.
Really? Hey?
Yeah. We stick around in town. We got some young kids, so we don't really want to go pay to watch them somewhere else. So we'll just pay to watch them here. No, they love going on the field after the game. They love the kids club, all the activities in the field house there before halftime. So
now you have a tailgate spot too, correct?
Yeah. We got a couple through work. So there's we got an amalgamation of it. We got Northern Platforms, Justin Sorensen, they have theirs. Crystal Glass, they have theirs. We usually borrow it off them. Molson's right beside us. Then there's like the Edmonton Construction Association's right beside us. So there's a good row of people there, and right on the grassy knoll. You know, poor JFK, but we got the grassy knoll now.
R.I.P.
Kids can play. It's a great atmosphere right by the stage. So yeah, it's just a 10 out of 10.
Which group goes the hardest?
Like on
out of everyone,
at the tailgate.
At the tailgate, yeah.
Usually whatever clients we bring to the game.
Try and spoil them, and they have fun. It's nice that you're able to bring clients to the tailgate and then into the alumni room, because I'll see you guys have some people in there, and just it's a great way to build the relationship, but then give them a little behind the scene exposure. Hey,
yeah, they get to meet a lot more alumni, like you said, behind the scenes. You know, it's a nice touch with they get to see guys maybe they watched growing up, or some of the older guys like, oh yeah, they know Rod Conop and Sean
Henry Ginsmo Williams,
the guys
walking
rolling
around
in there. And there's like, oh man. It's a great place, great atmosphere. It's great for our families. Like, it's great to have the kids in there. It's a little more contained, so the gremlins can run around full speed. I'm sure some of the guys don't like it, but everyone has to do their time.
Gizmo is like, he's the one alum who's everywhere in the city. Like, I feel like I could be at a grocery store on the east side and see Gizmo, then 20 minutes later be on the west side at like a gym, and Gizmo's just there, like working on. I'm like, hey, there's Gizmo. There's
extra
Gizmo
medium shirt,
and
just
wearing the same
superset and bench press and muscle ups. Like,
it's like,
I hate to do that.
It's like, man, we're at a superstore. Like, how are you doing? How are you benching 325 in the middle of a superstore right now?
Man, he can golf though. For as jacked as he is,
really?
He's smooth on the golf course. He's a really good golfer, actually.
Matt, I wanted to ask, I always love getting into, the conversations about like how the kind of career trajectory, and like a guy, how tall were you? You must have been like your playing size coming out of high school were relatively close.
I was like 6'8", maybe 6'8" and a half, 6'9", and then just grew a little more in university, like 6'11" now. So did
you get D1 offers?
A couple partials, not enough to make it worthwhile. You look at the financials of it, you're like, okay, well, a half scholarship's only going to cover so much. You're talking 20 to 30,000 USD just to go to school. Then you got your housing, your food, like all this stuff. It's like, man, you look at that Canadian to USD, and then you look at the total cost. You're like, that's something that's a little outside the scope.
So it was never something you thought about. You were going to.
I was getting recruited by a couple schools. There's your Rutgers, your Boise, your Idaho.
You don't want to go to Rutgers.
Actually, that was Greg Schiano was there. He was really good.
Greg Schiano.
He's back at the second stint, but he was there. Went down to a bunch of camps and stuff like that. But yeah, no full D1 offers. Had a couple D2 and D3, but I was like, might as well just play.
Might as well just stay home. Yeah.
Now, Matt, because everybody, the elephant in the room, you're tall as can be.
Yeah.
Basketball, was that a first sport, a first passion for you, or was football always something that you were drawn to? Or kind of walk us through the because obviously it was a choice. I mean, you don't get to just go to an NBA training camp by being tall. There's a passion behind it.
And an NBA training camp with like Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen and Paul Pierce on the roster too. Legit.
So at what point in your life did you kind of make a decision? Did you always play both sports? What was it?
Well, it was, I'm sure you guys probably got this as kids. Like you're either working or you're playing sports, and like, okay, well, I think I'll just keep playing sports. So you got the, usually 3 different sports in the school year. We had football, basketball, then either baseball, lacrosse, or track and field, summer football, stuff like that. So you're just always a multi-sport athlete. I actually played hockey growing up as a kid for about 8 or 9 years. My older brothers played football, and then I kind of segued into that.
So you can move around out there on the ice.
I can still skate. I'm teaching my daughters how to skate.
Buddy, we got to hook up this offseason.
Yeah,
this
one of these days, I hope like later on in my career, I can get in the world's longest game there and maybe get out for a few shifts. That'd probably be my next big goal.
Oh, we'll make that happen. Yeah. We'll make it happen.
So what made you choose football over basketball in the end? It was just like there's more path for a pro career here?
I think it more suits my style, more of a physical game. That kind of mentality. Older brothers, it's like
coaches saw
WWF, UCF, or UFC in the household. Basketball still very physical, but you have to be a lot more athletic. But yeah, just high school, college, all that football background has seen the natural progression.
Coaches saw you bodying Kevin Garnett in training camp. They're like, whoa, hold on, that's our prime asset. We gotta, man. That's so. What was it like going like? Did you grow? Because I asked you, me and Eddie have talked about this. I asked Justin as well. Like growing up, as a Canadian, did you want to be a CFL player? Like, were you like, I want to be in the CFL? Like, I know Eddie's talked about that. He wanted that. Yeah. I wanted that. Didn't work out for me. It's okay. I did get to tackle Chuba Hubbard. Not a big deal. Who's now RB2 in Carolina. But yeah, like a lot of kids, I think, I don't know. Like, I feel like they must have NFL aspirations, but there is something very real to be said for wanting to be a CFL player. Like that was you wanted to be in the
absolutely CFL. Yeah, you look at it as pro football, not like a 1A 1B scenario. It's just you want to be a pro athlete. That was the goal. Initially I was just like, okay, get to university, see where this can take me, get my education, and then we started getting good year 2, 3, and I was like, okay, like I'm developing well, putting the time in the off season, taking care of my grades. Team won the Vanier in 09.
Yep.
They're probably heading back there this year too. I don't see Manitoba out there, Eddie, but
no. But hey, I got mine in 07 though. I got mine in 07. You followed in my footsteps.
World's oldest CIS team, by the way.
I'm glad I was 19.
07 Manitoba team.
Yes, but I was 19. I'll always say I was a 19-year-old playing on that team, so I was doing something right.
Eddie hasn't checked the standing since he got his Vanier Cup ring. He's like, hey, I got mine. I'm like, it's all good.
No.
So
yeah, go ahead.
No. You finish off.
Yeah, it was just always like, you go to the games. I lived in BC. I lived in Ontario. I remember going to the old Lansdowne, even in Ottawa, like the Argos play, BC play, like Hamilton. You go to all the games when I moved around, and like, you're like, yeah, I definitely see myself playing this. I got the size. I got to make sure I develop well, obviously take care of school, and then let the cards fall where they can.
What'd you take in school, Matt?
It's kinesiology.
Would you ever do anything with it in life, or is that ship sailed? And did you get your degree?
Yeah, I got my degree. I made sure I went back for half a semester just to finish out because I was part-time my first year. They were like a little worried, like Queens is a heavy academic school, and I was only like an 80 average. They're like, oh, we don't know if you should go full-time first year.
80 average.
And I was like,
that's okay. Dean's list in Manitoba.
Manitoba is 60 average to get in. That's the only reason I went there is because they take 60s.
Yeah. So I went back after 13 for half a year for 3 courses just to finish out. Graduate, make sure I was like, I don't want to wait. I want to make sure I get my degree no matter what. That was the whole point of this journey. And then you just never know what's going to happen with football. You're one play away, one injury away from hanging them up forever. So luckily I had a long career, but no, I'm glad I went back.
Do you have like a deal with your parents? Because that's a big thing for a lot of people. Like, they kind of say like their parents are like, you're going to get a degree no matter what. Did you have that as well? Or was it you just wanted it?
No, I wanted it. They knew like, they taught us right, and it was always instilled in us like make sure you use sports whatever you can as a tool. It's just to get you to the end game, which is like your for education, your connections, your networking, whatever it is, because football doesn't last forever. What is it? You might get 3 years pro,
3 years is the average,
3.5 pro. Like if you're lucky, like that's a blink of an eye. You're coming out at 22, you're done at 25, 26, and you're just standing there like, what do I do? And I was not gonna be one of those guys.
Yeah, and still pretty young at 25, 26, honestly, like wondering, what do I do with the rest of my life? What was the jump like from high school? Because I got to imagine like a guy like you were like pancaking everybody. And yeah, like, so what's the jump then from high school to CIS, and then CIS obviously to the pros, and for you, like CIS to the NFL initially?
Yeah. Well, the high school CIS was before the rule of you had to get your 5 years and 7 then. So there was guys who were, I went to Queens. There was guys who were 24, 25,
Yeah, so
and
you had a couple of them on
I was
your team.
18. There was only 1 year of that. After that, they brought in.
Was
that
it
rule.
Danny, your quarterback, Danny Brannigan?
Yeah, but he wasn't that old.
No, but he was a baller. I was just wondering if he was your quarterback.
He was a baller. Yeah. Great guy too. Super humble, very cerebral. Always took the blame if anything went wrong. Never pointed a finger. Just a great teammate all in all. Yeah, the biggest thing was like, you're like 18 going in training camp. There's like 24, 25-year-olds. Like, those are grown ass men. The rule came in shortly later, I think a year after, where it was like you had to get your 5 years of eligibility within 7, so you couldn't, CJEP and junior ball
because of the Bisons,
and then play this many years and that many years, and you got
10 years.
Yeah.
10 years of post secondary.
Yeah.
You go and play 5 years of junior, and then get full 5 of eligibility at college.
Yeah.
So our starting running back in the Vanya was 27. He was.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding. He was our starting age in the Vanya was older than the Bombers who were in the Grey Cup.
Yeah, it's like I remember on like that. This is going to be a really niche reference, but on that like 04 CU Buffs team, like I remember an old player who was the fullback telling stories. He was like 19 or 20 or whatever, and it's like Joel Klatt, the quarterback. He had like a wife and like a mortgage to worry about, and he was talking about. He's like, man, like which sorority house we hitting tonight? And the quarterback's like, man, I got to go home to my wife, bro. Like, I got to make these mortgage payments. And now you see it. Like, obviously, I wonder how long the NCAA is. And see, I don't know if it's the same for CIS, but I wonder how long they're going to use that like COVID loophole. Like, dude, it feels like we've got guys who started playing college football in 2017 still playing.
I think
it's like as well.
It's like, bro, you're 30. You have a 16-year-old kid. They're getting recruited. Like, when are you going to step it up and get out of college?
I think we're just hitting the peak of that because guys, you get your emergency red shirts, your all that stuff, your COVID year, and I think it's kind of just trailing off. You got your 24, 25-year-old skill guys or quarterbacks, and it's like it's going to see that sharp fall off. I think after this year.
So what was it like? I mean, you talked about going from high school to CIS, but then like going college, whether it's CIS or NCAA to the pros is CFL or NFL. Like, that's an incredible jump. Like, now we're talking the best of the best. We're talking, the 0.01% of football players in the world. But going from playing at Queens to then being on that Cincy roster, like what was that like? And just kind of the moment as well, like being like, oh man, like this is the NFL.
Yeah, the first time kind of going to the locker room, you take it all in. You're just like, holy crap! Like, these guys are millionaires. These are blue chip guys, 5-star guys. These guys catch touchdowns on TV.
Yep. And you would have been with like Ocho, Carson Palmer.
Just after it was AJ Green his rookie year, Andy Dalton,
Geno Atkins,
Carlos Dunlap, Andrew Whitworth. He was a great mentor to me my 2 years there.
Right.
He's killing it on TV.
He's an all-pro guy, and I was just some undrafted free agent out of Canada, and he didn't have to do anything like that. He didn't have to help teach me or mentor me, but he taught me how to be a pro. He taught me how to block. There's technique issues, taught me how to watch film, like just little stuff here and there. And just like, man, if I ever get to a level like that, I'll try to be that guy to someone else.
Matt, I got to ask this because you hear this common sentiment, be a pro. And you say Andrew Whitworth taught you how to be a pro. What does that mean in your eyes, being a pro? Because we've witnessed it. Some guys, they just don't know how to carry themselves as a pro. What does being a pro mean to you?
Well, there's so many levels to it, right? Like, there's being a pro. You got social media, you try to be a pro. You're out in the community trying to be a pro. Are you doing more than you need to do? Like at the stadium, are you just there for the meetings that are required, the workouts that are required, the practice that's required? You a first guy or last guy in, first guy out kind of guy? Are you putting in that extra work? Like, being a pro is you're your own corporation at that point. Whatever you put into yourself is what you're going to get on the back end. So whether you're doing that extra training, that extra film room, that extra recovery, like all that stuff was just mission critical. And if you want to have a long career and be successful, that's what you got to put in.
How much of a chip did you have on your shoulder coming in as a Canadian?
Oh, down there? Not too much. No, they loved all their jokes about the Canadian stuff. Actually, a couple guys hit me up trying to get that good maple syrup. Tank Johnson, my rookie year at first training camp, we're in Kentucky, and he just pulls me aside and he's like, "Rookie, next time you go up to Canada, I want some of that maple syrup."
Well, it's good.
Well, I was going to ask about rookie duties. Like, when you came, back to the CFL, did you have to do rookie duties again?
Yeah. They still got to do rookie duties even after that.
Yeah,
which you kind of take as like a slight against you until you realize it's more just like getting on their good side. But you're like, okay, well, this is my third year of pro football. Like, I got to be a rookie again. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. But it's more about the team. It's not about rookieing you.
Yeah.
It's about the duties as a team, right?
Yeah. So you do the stuff, you get the breakfast sandwiches, you get the donuts, you kind of grit your teeth and bear it. And then, you become part of the group, and it's just part of the culture.
So then, like after going from Cincy to Edmonton, like what's that transition like?
Well, it's just all business. You join essentially midway through the season, you're thrown right back in the fire, right? You're given a playbook. You meet your teammates. You're moved in. You're trying to figure out where to live. What do I do for a vehicle? What's the routine like?
So you got released from camp with Cincy?
The second year, yeah.
The second year?
Yeah.
And then was your agent fishing around for other offers, or what happened? Was it a settling on Edmonton, did you feel?
Potential maybes, like potential other like practice roster spots open in the NFL, or like, okay, do we want to go play and get some experience? Do we want to see where this goes? And then
because ultimately it's your decision. Yeah. What went into that for you to instead of chase practice roster opportunities?
Yeah, I wanted to play
You're
ball.
Just a number.
I wanted to play ball.
Yeah, come up and be the man.
Yeah, you want to play ball. You want to get reps. You want to compete. You want to contribute. SAS traded my rights after that, and then signed in Edmonton and been here ever since.
Was there ever, once you got to the CFL, because I know there was the second stint since after that, but after that cut, sort of, bring that up.
That's all right.
But after that, were you like, okay, like I'm gonna forge my legacy here in the CFL, or is it in the back of your mind where you always like I do want to get back to the NFL? Because again, we talked about it off the top, like you wanted to be a CFL player, and I think there is something to be said. Like, do you want to play the game? Do you want to be here and play the game and build a legacy, or do you want to be a guy who's rotating practice rosters? Like, that's a real debate I think a lot of players have. But like once you got back in Edmonton again, were you like, okay, like I want to be a CFL player, I want to be a CFL legend, I want to be a CFL All-Star, I want to get that Grey Cup ring.
Yeah, that was the plan. I was like, you know what, maybe I was a little young. I came out of college only at like 20. I was maybe just turning 21 going into my first pro camp. I was like, maybe if I stayed another year in college, I would have maybe got drafted or gone higher. And then, okay, like a year and a half on the practice roster. And then I was like, okay, get some experience, play some football, played 2.5 seasons with the Eskimos. I was like, I'll give it another shot. Let's just see if I can, I'm 25, 26 at the time, a bit more of my man strength. I've learned the game, let's give it a shot. And then, you start doing OTAs, they're going well. And then summer camp and stuff like that. And then the draft comes around. They take 2 tackles in the first 2 rounds. I'm like, well, that's the end of that one. I'll grind it out here. But I knew the writing was on the wall really quick. So then you learn like, okay, no matter how well I play here, I'm probably not staying. So I could put good tape on out there for people to pick me up. And then, there's another couple chances like, oh, do you want to go practice roster? There might be a guy here, or like maybe next week we might pick you up. And I was like, you know what? Good. I'm
so much uncertainty.
I'm not doing that. I'm tired of, bouncing around, moving back and forth, moving my life. There's a lot to be said about stability. More about what you can control. And then, I knew I loved Edmonton. Ed's a great GM. We had a great coach, great group of guys. And I was like, well, we did damn well the year before in 2014. We fell just shy in the Western Conference Finals. I was like, let's try and run it back. And, I love the city and love the team. And I was like, it was a no-brainer. I'm like, it's time to set down some roots. I want to be here. I want to play here. This is where my legacy is.
Mm-hmm. It's so refreshing to hear because like there is something I think to be said for like obviously you talked about loving the team, loving the city. Like I do think it means more. I don't want to disparage any team or any city, but it means more to be an Eskimo or a member of the Double E as opposed to like an Ottawa Red Black or a BC Lion. Like there is something to be said for
rich tradition.
Exactly. Right. Like the history of the Double E. Like, so you obviously felt that and that like resonated with you and still does.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like we got deep roots, it's a blue collar community. It was a community owned team until recently. That legacy is just forged in, community fellowship and just being the best you can out there. But, it's something to say, like, really proud to, we've just always been at Commonwealth, as a team, you practice there, you play there. Now as an alumni, you go there. It's like other teams, they got to go to different practice facilities. They got to do this and that. And it doesn't quite feel like like they have those deep roots or that tradition like Edmonton does. But when you get this many Grey Cups and this many, epic guys, it's deeply enrooted.
It is. And, having sitting on the alumni board with you, Matt, you take a look at some of the names that are plastered on the wall, and we sit on the board with some of them, some legends, and a lot of them are linemen, O-linemen, and you're going to fall in line with these legends. Your name will be plastered on that wall one day too in the Ring of Honor, because what you were able to do and carve out for yourself here in the city, play in the CFL for a decade.
Yeah, just shot.
All with one franchise? Yeah. You know how rare that is? That's like old school. That's 90s stuff, man. That doesn't happen anymore.
And this day, especially in
this
CFL.
day. And, I'm sorry, I'm not pocket watching, but you were making change too. So you were living up to that. Because usually when you're making the big change, you're on the chopping block to get cut first.
Yeah.
So like, that's very impressive. It's neat just to see how you have fallen in line, spending such a long time with this organization, just to be a part of the rich history of offensive linemen that have been produced from the Double E, Matt. It's cool.
Yeah, what you're saying about that, like, we got guys like, Hector Pache, Rod Conop on the alumni board. Just like, these guys, 5 in a row Grey Cups. These guys are on the Wall of Honor. Like, that's
Blake.
Maybe it's something about that number 66. I like, there's a lot of that number on the board on the Wall of Honor. Blake too. But no, I got lucky. I think a lot of it came down to sometimes luck of the draw. Like, I didn't have a major injury until the near end of my career. Sometimes just like that one guy falls on you, or like
quick
you get tripped up.
Yeah.
Someone, like there's a pile up and you just get like sandwich wrong. Like I bounced back from a lot of injuries, played through a lot of injuries, dislocated my thumb in 16, hurt my shoulder in 17, but just luckily managed to play through it and grind out the season, focus on recovery. They always had a great training staff. We had Nate Hay and his team for all those years, Dens, Shohei, and then we had, Cheeseman as well. So, they say, whatever you put in yourself is what you're going to get out. So, hot and cold tub, massage, chiro, all that stuff. Every week I miss it so much now. I miss the cold tub so much. You don't realize how sore you are until you go get some work done on yourself.
You mentioned something playing through it, because like yourself, I've played through a crap load of stuff. Yeah. And some guys, I think that's what separates, some of the elite players from others, because a lot of guys, you get even just, minor things and they're shutting it down. Whereas we're playing through torn biceps, torn shoulders, fingers. What's a finger, right? Like
all mangled.
Yeah, all mangled.
Not Sorensen mangled, but mangled.
So that's part of the reason I think it's the mentality that you had, why you lasted so long, and why, you're going to go down as one of the best in history for the Double E.
I appreciate that, man. Some is just lucky bounces. And then, like you said, if someone falls on you, like it happened to me in 19, was finally, I think it was the first time I missed playing time between college and my pro career. It was over 12 or 13 years combined without missing a game.
Thousands of snaps.
Yeah.
Iron Man as a lineman is incredible.
And then it's just, one person fell on you sideways and your knee goes out, and then you're out for the 6th game, right? Got back quick, but I missed the first 6 games of my career. I think I played 150 plus games in a row without missing any games. And then, the streak goes down pretty quick.
So like when your rights got traded to Edmonton and when you knew you were going to be coming here, like, because like Saskatchewan's another one. They have obviously a storied history and devout fan base.
Not enough Grey Cups.
Not 4 and 19. You got 5 coming up this
big
week.
fan. Oh, you wore that green again.
Look at that though.
Okay, I see you back. I see.
No, they really fleeced Edmonton in that trade. They, they got that receiver for me, and that's the better end of the deal, I think.
What receiver?
Greg Carr.
Oh yeah, big Greg Carr.
But coming like here to Edmonton, what were kind of, I guess, your expectations and understanding of their history versus how it lived up once you spent your whole career here?
Well, you grew up watching CFL football, and you see them win in 03, you see them win in 05, like they're a good team. I was born in BC, so I know a lot about Alberta. I lived in Ontario my high school years and college years, but I was lucky. I had a bunch of buddies working oil and gas in like central Alberta. So it's like, oh, this is sweet. Like, I'm going to go play in Edmonton. It's a great city, underrated city, especially the food culture too. I don't know if you can tell I like to eat. But yeah, they were there. Like 3 or 4 of my good buddies and my older brother were all in oil and gas in central Alberta. I was like, sweet. Like, I get to see my family, my close friends. I get to play football. Like, this is the best of like all worlds.
So it was a pretty like easy transition then to also build a life here afterwards.
Absolutely. Yeah. They're still here. My brother's RCMP now after being in oil and gas. Actually, most of the boys switched from oil and gas to RCMP. Settled down here. I was like tired of moving around after the second chance at the NFL. And I was like, we won the Grey Cup. And I was like, all right, that's it. I'm buying a house here. This is where I had a long-term contract. I'm like, I'm putting everything I have into being here. And then hopefully the chips fall where they may.
Good for you, man. So fill us in. Family, wife, kids.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But fill everybody else in. Fill Deck in. What are you up to nowadays? And we'll circle back to some more football for sure.
A lot of great terms I used to talk about my wife. I definitely, outkicked my coverage. Swung up or something like that. Like, she is intelligent. She's gorgeous. She's a wonderful mother and partner. My wife, Catherine, with a K. You can always tell the evil one's spelled with a K. We have 2 beautiful daughters. Elizabeth, she's 5, and Evelyn, she's 2, and they're turning 6 and 3 here in the new year. Yeah, just love being a dad. Eddie might have told you we do a lot of dad stuff. We got a dad group chat with all the football guys. All the kids are kind of the same age. We're like, hey, it's wintertime. What are we doing? We go to the pool, bouncy castles, sledding, something like that. Like there's something we got to do. We can't just sit in the house. It's -30. Doesn't matter. We got to.
Oh no. Those kids got to
move.
At least an hour.
For sure, man. Yeah.
We're tough dads.
Those commercials, like get out and play or whatever they were. Yeah.
At least an hour.
Man, go jump rope in the basement if you have to. Like, dude, get that hard. Yeah, no doubt, man. Did you meet her here in Edmonton?
I did. Yeah. She's doing her master's at the U of A and met her online. Good old Tinder back in the day.
No way, really?
Yeah. Wow. Kobe.
Would you remember what your opening line was?
No, I don't. I'm sure she could tell you. I'm sure it was something stupid, but
probably, hey, ASL.
Yeah.
Remember that? Rick, you remember that? That might be over the head.
That's old school
That's
days.
old head.
Yeah.
Remember that? ASL?
Yeah.
Bro, I just smiled and laughed. I was like, yeah, for sure. I had no idea what she thought.
What would that be like? Yahoo chats and stuff.
Yeah, something like that. Messenger. Yeah. ICQ.
Yeah, whatever location. Yeah.
Dude, I remember going on like Omegle. It was like a 13-year-old kid with my friends. Just like, and like you'd get like the 47-year-old dudes and you have ASL.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Just get straight
Get
out
out of there.
That's a crazy reference
I don't remember
for this,
that one. Yeah, but definitely got lucky. And yeah, we started seeing each other just before Grey Cup, and then kind of made it official just after the Grey Cup, and been together ever since. And yeah, now she's at Service as a financial advisor.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I'm down working oil and gas now in Nisku.
Yep. How are you liking that? How was it, that transition when you retired? Was it a challenging transition? I know for myself, and we talked about this with Justin as well, I faced some tough moments, not a complete identity crisis because I had set myself up for, working post-football life as well. But, it's still tough because your everything is to be a football player. And now you're done. How was that for you?
It might have been a little different for me because I had to go through that COVID canceled season. I think it gave kind of a wake-up call to guys who were like, I was probably not the back end of my career, but I was already 9 years in, and you're like, okay, well, play a couple more years, see how it goes. The goal is to play to 35, and that would have been 13 or 14 years of pro football. But then, COVID happened and the season gets canceled. You're like, oh crap, what do I do now? And it's just like, I got a family to support, and you got to think long-term, and you're like, okay, well, what are my options? I did, a year in oil and gas and still training, and then you got to provide for your family. I was like, okay, I got to start thinking long-term. Found a job in the construction industry. Worked there for a couple months before going back to CFL. Did both jobs when I was playing for the now Elks at the time, and I was like, okay, well, the trajectory of the team unfortunately was going down. My career is coming to an end, and I had a great opportunity in the construction industry. So I was like, well, I got to put my family first and think not 1 year, 2 year, but you got to think 10, 20 years down the road. So then it was one of those things where I miss. You miss playing, you miss the guys, you miss the camaraderie. I don't miss training camp. I don't miss practice.
Don't miss the banging.
Yeah. I don't miss those long flights at like 2 a.m. when you're flying back from Montreal.
East.
Yeah. Like those tough ones. But
they were fun though.
They were fun if you won. They were fun if you won. Otherwise, you're like bleeding through your dress shirt and stuff like that, like turf burn and stuff like that.
That's real,
like,
right, man. That's real. How dirty would our sheets get? Your sheet just from all the turf burning cuts. You wake up and it looks like a murder scene on your bed sheets.
Was it having that job set up and just knowing like I got to think about the future? Was that the catalyst, or was it something on field where you're like, I just don't have the pop anymore?
No, I still feel like I had the pop.
Still feel like you played for like
doing well, but I didn't see the team trajectory turning around to where we were in like the late 2010s, where we're in the conference finals every year. Like you're enjoying the locker room, the boys are doing well, and like you're winning a lot. And we had a great run there, and then stuff started to fall apart, and then the name change, and then COVID, and then
it was unraveling at the seams.
Yeah, I didn't see it turning around soon enough before I exited, and we went like 3-11, and we played like to finish my career. It was like 3 games in 8 days, and that was the worst thing ever. It was like because we had some teammates got tested positive, so we didn't forfeit. We had to shift the Toronto game to the back end of the season. Then we played like Sask, Toronto, and BC in 8 days, all on the road. Wow. Very few guys played all 3, but I was one of them.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember.
But you're playing at like 80%, like 60%, and like 30%.
You're just trying to get through.
You're playing in, not even quicksand. You're playing in concrete.
Yeah,
like that last game against
you're
BC,
just trying to get through without getting hurt.
3 football games in 8 days. Like there's a reason it's an 18-game season with 1 game a week. Like I couldn't even imagine playing.
Yeah, plus travel too. Like we were at Sask, at Toronto, at BC. So you're just on the road for all.
Just like days. Not in your own bed. Just like shit. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, recovery's harder. Like exercising's harder. Meals are harder. Like
the mindset, the mind, even just overcoming those injuries to get into that battle mode. It's harder to get there mentally because you got to get to that special place to play.
And we were down too. I think we were like 2-9 going on that stretch, and like we beat Sask. We barely lost to Toronto, or maybe I flipped that. And then we just got smoked by BC because we had nothing left. They were going to the playoffs. We were third game in 8 days. You just wanted to be done. A lot of guys didn't dress who were like starters, and it was just like, get through it, right?
Hey, Matt, who was your favorite head coach throughout your time here with the Double E?
Favorite head coach?
You've had a few.
Yeah, I've gone through a lot of head coaches and GMs here.
You've had Cavis, Chris Jones, Jason Moss, Jamie Elizondo, Chris Jones again. Were you part of Chris Jones?
No, I was out before that.
So that's a solid list.
Yeah. Yeah, like it was a back and forth. I mean, you're going to default to the times you won because those are the best memories in your head. So I'd have to say the Chris Jones time, right? Obviously, not the best at being a GM. Everyone's probably heard the stories and stuff. So I think we had the perfect storm of like Ed Hervey controlling the crazy, but he was a good head coach and a scheme guy. So I think, you're going to default to when you're the best. So we were 14, 15, we were winning and everything. Life's better when you're winning, right? Everything's, you kind of putting, polish over a lot of stuff.
Like 2015, for example, shout out 10-year anniversary Cup this weekend.
I wish I had one of those to join in on the old.
Sorry, I had to do that right over your face, bro.
No, it's cool, man. I'm already getting big dog, but
like in 2015, man, we won 10 straight games, ran the table en route to winning the Grey Cup. Yeah. Like that's pretty epic. We didn't lose since Labor Day. And it wasn't all blowouts. It was games.
There was games where defense balled us out because it was like 17-14. And then there's games where special teams bailed us out, like we're at kick return touchdowns. Like it was like there's just swinging pendulum of like
Mike would throw 200 yards to Darius Bowman, 3 touchdowns. Like everybody pulled their weight. But you think of it to win 10 straight. Yeah. And then lock it up. I think one thing that really helped us that year, we had a bye. Our byes that year were in week 2 and then week 18, the last week of the season. So we had first place locked up. So we had a bye and the first place bye. And then we played Calgary.
Well, I remember they dangled the carrot. Weeks. We had to beat Montreal at home to secure the double bye, the bye week and the first round playoff
Jones
bye.
They just dangled
that carrot. He's like, hey, you get extra like 4 days. If you beat Montreal and get that first place, everyone's just like,
we came out and put it on him. Put it on him, man.
Do you remember your first impression of Eddie as a teammate?
Oh, probably. Was it 2013?
Yeah, it would have been 13.
Yeah, training camp in 13. We're going against each other all the time. We're like in the trenches together. You smash, and you're literally seeing this guy a couple hundred times a day. Mm-hmm. And then you run into each other in the chow line, and then it's gold tubs, and it's like you just, as much as you love each other, it's just like
gets old.
You're banging all the time. Old. Like it's just head to head in the trenches, inside run, 1-on-1s, team drill. You just see a lot of the same people, no matter how much you like him. It's tempers flare for sure.
Oh yeah, we got into a fight for sure. You gave me,
bro. You fought with everybody, Justin, Matt.
What it is.
That's how it goes.
You see how big those guys are, man. Like if I'm not a dog, like I gotta do something to get my game up just to compete with their size. But Matt, he gave me an uppercut from hell. I tell people this story to this day. I got into a fight with someone else, a different O lineman, but Matt, go gadget arm, 6'11", out of nowhere, just came in and clocked me. And I bit my tongue so hard, Deck. Yeah. I shredded it. It was like a blender. I had to drink soup for a week. I couldn't eat. I remember you saying, I couldn't eat. And it's the infamous Matt O'Donnell uppercut from hell.
Not a weight loss plan you recommend?
Honestly, I couldn't eat. It sucked. Yeah. My tongue was so, everything was so raw and it hurt and it looked gross.
Yeah.
Just bit it all up.
That was definitely the younger part of our career. I was you see, like the younger you are, the more you fight. And as you get older, just like, they got it. Yep. Unless there's like a full brawl, which almost never happens. But like O-line, we always got each other's back. There's no exceptions. Just like if someone starts some BS, like we're all getting in there. Then you got 12, 13 big hoggies coming down on you. It's like we're gonna take exception to that. But the older you got, you're like, it's maybe not for me right now.
Now, Matt, something I've personally wondered, I've never asked you this question. You're 6'11". You obviously are more athletic than a lot of offensive tackles I've seen play in football, pro football just in general. You have great footwork. How come you played guard instead of tackle? Was that a choice that you made just because you can maul people more in a phone booth?
I think it was just I fell into it. It was typically the CFL teams, they want 3 inside Canadian guys and American tackles. I don't know if it's a ratio thing or just like a backup thing or like whatever. Because if I get injured, they got to put an American there and then take a American off somewhere else and put a Canadian, and then
The
it's just
flip.
always been 3 inside guys. Like I'm sure most teams to this day in the CFL, you look at the core of their O-line, it's 3 inside guys are Canadian, and the outside tackles are American.
There's definitely more tackles now, but that is the thing. I think there's just like a perception that these Americans are more athletic, right? Like they just better footwork, better if they come from NCAA, like better training, whatever it is. But you do see more Canadians playing tackle
nowadays.
Now,
You do. Now, with that being said, did you like being in a guard? Like, because with that size, you can really utilize that in a phone booth. You can.
Yeah, you got longer arms, you're bigger, you're stronger. So like even if they're maybe quicker twitch or like better first step, it's just you're playing, in a phone booth. Like outside on the edge, you're like, oh, they got all this space. They can go out here, they can go in there, they can run around, they can line up as a wide 9, they can do all this stuff. But it's like you're playing here.
So Matt wasn't a huge shit talker. Like he talked, but he wasn't. But how he would, I remember, get under my skin so bad is he would be like, you think you got him? And then he'd like, get you. And he'd laugh. Not going anywhere, buddy. And just like laugh. See, he knows too. And that's like the most annoying thing.
Yeah, way worse.
Way worse. That makes you want to, your steam is just coming out because he would just be chuckling.
Because you're getting little brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's what it is,
and he
bro.
just
like,
go gadget army and not today.
Yeah, as long as you move the feet, you can kind of reach outside the frame and then just shuffle the feet to catch up. But yeah, I didn't like to smack talk a lot. Try to let my pads do the talking for me.
Man.
Only certain guys ever kind of like got me to speak up a little bit, but when you're playing next to Sorensen, he does enough talking for everybody.
Well, I was gonna ask, like, do you remember who some of the toughest guys to go up against were?
Yeah, we had him on our D line.
It was like Ted and Mondo,
Teddy too. Like 2012,
Mondo.
2013, like 2014, like.
So it's like that thing, like going against those guys every day in training.
It was harder
like
in practice.
Yeah.
Harder in training camp. You get to game day, you're like, oh man,
this is easy. Yeah.
Easier. I'm not gonna say easy. It's easier. You're like, you got all stars and like hard grit, like helmet in your sternum, like D tackles.
It sharpens everybody, though.
Yeah.
It sharpens everybody.
Yeah.
But Matt, you're right. Like you look at the all-decade team for the CFL 2010s. Ted Laurent, Mike Almondo are the first team.
Yeah.
Me and Mike are the second team, and you had 3 of us.
And then we played Micah in Calgary all the time. So it's just like, you play these guys like that was 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. It's like, I know if I don't sit on this bull rush, I'm like something bad's going to happen. Almondo's going to get that right arm slam. And like, I've seen him toss big men on the ground. Like they're ragdoll.
Strongest dude I've ever seen. But and vice versa, it works. You helped us.
Yeah.
It's iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
It's a real
That's
thing.
how we were so good for so long is we had just the best trenches.
Yeah. Because you were all decade as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were just like, we had, our O-line and D-line were just dominant. Those like from 13 into 14 to like into the late 2010s. It's just like you looked at how it was built and like these are the guys.
The game really is won and lost in the trenches. And I think fans do kind of understand that, but I still think there's kind of a degree of, like that 80-yard touchdown looks so much sicker. That 100-yard pick 6 looks so much sicker, but like the game is won and lost in the trenches, and just having that foundation is like, there's something to be said for how that moves mountains as a team.
Yeah,
like,
really
like if you can dominate the line of scrimmage, like you're gonna win 85-90% of the time. Like that's just where the game
not
is won
sexy.
and lost. And it's not sexy at all.
Where it's won or lost. Yeah. It's not bias either. You look at NFL, CFL, the best teams, yes, it falls on the quarterback. Yeah. Like they're the focal point, but a quarterback ain't shit if he's not getting protected.
Well, speaking of quarterback, did you ever have a quarterback, like maybe Mike, who got you that like a super, super sick Christmas present? Like, hey, thanks for everything, man. Like here you go.
Good question. How'd Mikey take care of the boys?
I feel like someone already prefaced this maybe on a previous podcast, but no, he'd usually take us out to like a dinner or something like that. Us O-line, we live through our stomachs, so we'd usually go down to like Sorrentino's Little Italy or something like that, and he'd take care of the bill for all the boys. Yeah, I've seen some stuff down the NFL where it's like, guys handing out
like ATVs, bro. They get an Audemars,
truck, like, stuff like that. That's kind of that. You're like, oh man, I wish kind of made it just for that kind of stuff and the big paycheck too. But no, Mike took care of us. The QBs are always usually good about that's their own kind of subculture too, right? I'm sure they're taught from generation to next guy. It's like, you take care of the guys in front of you because they're the ones who are
taking care of you,
bleeding for you. So. Obviously, we got to hold up our end of the bargain. We got to do our job, but I think helping them win MOP and Grey Cup MVP probably solidified it.
What? So you played it like I think you were listed at 310.
Yeah,
I
was way bigger than that. I was 330, 340.
Yeah, okay.
Early in the career, it was like 360. It was way too big. Like boom, boom, Like, it's like you learn like, okay, if I drop off like 20 bad pounds, like how much more explosive, how much quicker twitch I am. So like, that off season between 13 to 14, 14 to 15, the biggest part was like, I got to lose like 20 pounds of fat and be able to move more. Because O-line has been evolving the past decade or two. You can't just be that big stand in the way blob of goo.
You got to move.
Like when you're pulling, just
pull in,
screen game. Defensive linemen are getting faster. They're getting quicker twitch. Like even the inside guys, it's not just like you're playing against like a Vince Wilfork who's going to grab two guys and
just
hold
run
them down.
Right down the middle.
It's like even these D linemen, like the D tackles now, are playing like DNs.
Oh yeah, they're super athletic now. Well, the reason I ask is because like you got to be closer to like 300 now, right?
Unfortunately, only 322.
So it's like pretty close.
Looking good though.
Because I was going to say like,
I mean, I definitely put on a lot of weight after my second kid was born, as most men do. Clearly it's, we have a lot of responsibility and, we carry a lot of weight. I got down to 302. 302 is my best. That's my lowest since high school. I haven't been under 300 pounds since high school, but, and you have the kid again, the weight spikes back up and you're just in survival mode. And then it's like, now I'm just trying to, we have an office job. Eddie's in kind of the same role where it's like outside sales BD. So you're going to lunches, you're golfing, you're doing all this stuff that's not the best for the diet. But, no, the goal now is to kind of eat clean going into winter, and we're playing basketball and stuff like that, working out, but get back down to like that 310.
You playing some senior men's hoops?
Yeah. Over at
you guys need a point guard?
Yeah. We need
I'll get out there.
Once a week. It's pretty sweet. It's a good little sweat. There's
so it's about.
I don't know why some guys take it so seriously, but I'm just here to just go
get the sweat.
Yeah. Because otherwise you're sitting at a desk, you're driving a truck, you're doing something like that, right? Then you hit 2 to 3 workouts a week and playing with the kids, and you're just trying to get your steps in.
Yeah. Kind of tailing off that really quickly, but going back to something we talked about, like what was it like? And you did talk about it a little bit, but going from like obviously being a pro athlete and like playing the game in front of thousands and on TSN, millions on TV, like what's it like going from that to just being like, kind of integrating into normal society and into normal life? Like that has to be such especially for a guy like you, like all due respect to someone who has a 3.5-year career, maybe starts half the games in the season because of injury. Yeah. It's a little different for them versus someone who's an all-star and a champion and all decade. Like what's it like going into just being like, just being a guy?
I was ready for it. Like I said, I was blessed to play, 10, 11 years of pro football. Didn't see, the winning record coming back, had a great career, got a family to worry about. There's some nights you're like, some days you have that feeling like, oh, I feel like I still play. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, you see some of the play on the field and you're just like, oh, my neck, or, oh, kid jumps on, you're like, oh, my knee, or just something. I felt like I could have played a couple more years, but it wasn't so much. I didn't feel like I didn't have it anymore. I felt like I could definitely still play even until recently. It's just outside factors, the COVID, the team
shifted the team.
The culture and the lack of winning and stuff like that. Luckily, they've kind of righted the ship now, finally. The biggest thing was just you miss the guys.
Yeah.
The camaraderie, you see them. I mean, training camp sucks, but you're with your buddies all day, every day. But, sometimes those road trips are nice just to be together. We still spend a lot of time together with our kids and stuff, but like, we're talking about a Grey Cup reunion dinner with the team, with the guys who are in town. The camaraderie's a lot. You miss your friends. You see them all the time. You joke. You send the memes and stuff. But you used to see them in person every day, 6 days a week.
Even the jokes that we crack on each other, it's so offsides. Like you can't just say that in normal society, right? Like it's the best, man. Yeah. It's the best. That's the stuff I miss too, Maddie, for sure. Yeah. I don't miss eating double teams for a living.
I don't miss one-on-ones. I don't miss inside run.
Oh, BMF. BMF.
Yeah.
We had this drill. We called it as players the CTE drill.
Yeah.
But our coaches called it BMF, bad mother effers.
Yeah.
And all you're doing is like so old school. You're just lining up O-line, D-line, bang, and try and drive each other off the ball. Who's going to win? And we called it the CTE.
Oh, there's another one. They had the CTE 2.0. It was just like the pull drill. They'd have the guards pull and just the DNs knew it was just literally just like a half line drill. Just like, they're going to sink the pull, and you're just like
with
just
momentum,
a car crash every time.
With momentum, here's a crash.
They're like, this is a good idea. We're gonna do this in training camp.
Stupid.
Or run double barrel offense with only 9 linemen.
That's
running that on like the second, running that on the second session of a 2-a-day in like the heart of June when it's 30 degrees. It's just brutal.
Everyone's just pissed off. Everyone's screaming. No one's happy.
Coaches are screaming. And then you get up to the line and you quietly say that no coach can. just take it easy. And then you just kind of you thump up,
run the
and
feet,
then you pretend like you're going hard.
Yeah,
save each other.
That's the savvy vet stuff you learn.
Brother-in-law. Brother-in-law.
You got to sell it though. You're an actor.
You got to sell it, man. You got to sell it,
man. So when you look at the team now, finally, I think a lot of fans feel like it's going in the right direction. Like it had obviously been trending down, and this year didn't make the playoffs, didn't have the winning record. But I think a lot of people feel like the foundation is in place. Like we've talked a lot about the foundational pieces being there. As someone who, you know, obviously kind of lives and breathes this team. Let me get that one out.
Got it.
Yeah, not a big deal. Bit of a pro. Edit that out. But as someone who lives and breathes the team, like, are you finally looking at it and saying, like, yes, like we're going in the right direction? This is what it's about.
I knew when Ed was coming back, it was going to get fixed. Stuff you don't realize about when you're a player, how much the front office affects the team and the product on the field. And then just seeing that slow decline from where we were champions and just like, you know, finishing first or second in the league to just like barely making the playoffs, but still going deep and having a good roster. And it's like, yeah, a bad GM will set you back. Yeah. And then having 2 bad GMs will really set you back.
And then throw in 3 bad presidents in the mix.
Yeah. Where they're not so worried about the product on the field or the football and stuff like that. They're worried
and just
about
tone deaf to the fans as well. So it's like you don't care about what's on the field, and you're also not respecting your fans. Like
the product on the field is the ultimate prize. And I knew with Ed coming back, it was going to be good. And then, you know, he's got the roster turnover and get his guys. But no, you see the writing on the wall where it's like, you know, a player or 2 here or there in like that Hamilton or Toronto game. And then maybe instead of playing on the road for a playoff game, we might be hosting or something like that. Right. Like Eddie's been a part of that team too, where we were in 13, where it's like, you just miss every time. You just like 3-point loss, 4-point loss, 1-point loss, 7-point loss, 6-point loss. We were
5-13 that year. And we lost 5 games by 5 points or less.
Yeah. And it's just like, that's the difference between hosting a playoff game and being not even in the playoffs. And just like, we just, you know, it flipped though in 2015. Every single game we found a way to win, defense, special teams, or offense. Whoever was up to bat, you know, hit it out of the park that time, right? Like
we had to learn how to win though. We needed to lose because we had a hell of a team in 14. We killed the league in 14, especially our defense came on the scene hot. But we had to lose to Calgary in that West final to learn how to actually finally win, which we did in 15. I think that loss was necessary. We got our asses kicked in Calgary in the West final, remember? Then 2015, we weren't going to let that happen again.
No, there was definitely some extra motivation. It's your hated rival. They beat you last year. They won the Grey Cup. It was like, this isn't happening again. There isn't so much like you love to win. It's you hate to lose. You refuse to lose. Like there's not like, no, this isn't happening again. Like I'm not seeing their banners flying. I'm not seeing their Grey Cup parade. I'm not seeing that shit.
Mm-hmm. What was it like finally winning the Grey Cup? Like we talked about with Justin last week. Eddie's talked about it a bunch, but you know, that's the pinnacle. Like that's why you play the game. So like for you internally, like what's it like when you finally, you know, get there?
Oh, it was surreal for sure. You're just like, all right, we were down early. We managed to claw back, get the lead, you know, 3rd and goal at like the 1.5 yard line. QB sneaked it with Jordan Lynch. We just blew their D-line off the line. And then, we scored that and we kind of knew like, okay, like we know the defense has got it. We're going to get the ball back. We're just going to run this clock out and that's it. Like there's not going to be like, oh, wing and a prayer. Like we know the defense can ball. Like we just got to do our part when we get the ball back. You know, we got like 1 or 2 first downs. That was it. Just kind of iced it.
Yeah. No, I mean, but like, I mean, obviously, actually, let me ask you this, because I've asked Eddie as well. What means more to you, the All-Decade or the Grey Cup?
Grey Cup.
Yeah, because Eddie said Grey Cup. I would imagine that's got to be everyone's answer. Like that is why you play the game. But I do like there is something to be said for like the All-Decade. That's you.
There is
like,
an argument. For
that's what
the
you
importance
did
of All-Decade because Grey Cup is the pinnacle.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, the All-Decade is you're being noticed not just amongst your peers, but the media, the people covering the league, and for myself. I didn't think I was worthy. And then when that list came out, and I'm on that list with Micah Johnson, Ted Laurent, and Almondo, the 4 best in the 2010s, man, that's you step back and you think, shit,
it's pretty special.
Career was pretty special, man.
Yeah, you got to have obviously you want the team wins, the personal accolades are nice. Yeah, stuff like that on the back end is always, you know, a feather in the cap, but maybe it's just an O-line thing where it's just like we never really worried about. There's no real recognition. There's no nothing. It's like the only real measure was like wins and losses, and the other one was like, did you have least sacks in the year? Yeah. And that's a lot out of your control because it's, you know, different guys playing.
Quarterback can run into
game,
sacks.
guys like that. So we won it twice, luckily, in my career. Those are some of my most proud accomplishments, like winning that, 17 and 19. Those plaques are hanging in my office, and those are, that's like, you and the boys did it. The running backs, the fullbacks, the tight ends, like the quarterback knowing when he's hot. Like that's just the entire team, the entire offense knowing what's at stake, and like when you can protect that guy and give up the least sacks, that's probably one of my favorite accomplishments.
So what's it like being a guy who's, CFL All-Star, CFL West All-Star, getting the big paycheck, having been a part of a winning culture, and then you're there feeling like it's kind of going downhill? Like, because again, for some guys on that roster, like it's their first, second year there, they don't know what the culture had been like. They don't know what it's like to win. But you're a guy who did, and you're a guy who also did it as an individual. So like being that guy and then seeing kind of the downward trajectory, just like talk about that a little bit.
Well, the toughest part is when you're doing it with fewer and fewer guys who know the way. And like when they let go of Dwayne Mandrusiak, that was definitely like a death knell of the team. Like that's your central pillar. That's your core right there. That's, Pops. That's, the legacy there.
Easy.
50 years, right?
49.
Like,
right before 50, they did them.
And that's just like, he set the culture, he set the tone, the guys followed, and like, you start looking around, there's less and less guys who know the way. There's less and less guys who know Dwayne. He's gone. You're just like, you kind of feel like you're lost out there, like lost in space, or just like behind enemy lines. Not to that degree, but just like, it's good to have the young guys, but you can only set the core example so much. Like then losing takes hold. Yeah, all this other stuff takes hold, and it's tough in the media. And then like, then there's COVID stuff, and you're just like, it's all just starting to erode year over year. And you're just like, man, like this really.
How did we get here?
Yeah. When you've seen it at the pinnacle, and you're like, everyone bought in. We had the guys, we had the hustle, the mentality. We had all that heart and passion, and guys did it the right way because we held each other accountable.
Bone was preached.
Yeah.
Bone was preached. BONE, Brotherhood of Nasty.
And I didn't realize it until after you start seeing guys leaving in like 2018. You're like, well, why are they retiring early? Like, why is Mike going to BC? Why is JC going to coach? Why is like, why are all these guys going? Yeah. Like we're the team, we're the guys.
Yeah.
And you don't realize then it comes back to up top, right? You get that bad GM, starts to erode away, and then it takes up to a decade later.
Well said.
When you look at I got to imagine you're a guy who kind of has an eye on the offensive line as, a former lineman. And I think we, all respect, I think we took our share of jabs at them this year, and we're maybe calling for an overhaul on the right side there. But when you watched them play, like how did you watch it?
Well, you're always watching. It's the biggest thing in O-line is consistency. It doesn't matter if you're no sacks one game, but then you're 8 sacks another game. It's like, you have to be consistent every single play. There's guys that count on you, not just ones beside you, but the ones behind you. The biggest thing I'd say is consistency. They got the good group of guys in there now, but now it's just like those guys need chemistry. Those guys need time together. They need practice. They need reps because they all kind of know each other, and there's some played with each other. But like, Beard left or got sent away. Then he came back, thankfully, and then we got Carter coming in.
I like
Corte's been there for a year. Marte's been there for a while.
Yeah, no doubt.
He just took the wrong.
It reminds
number.
you of the better days.
Number.
Yeah, man, because he's a dog.
We were so close to greatness. He just had to pick the right number.
Did you watch Carter O'Donnell out there pretty closely when he came back from the NFL?
Yeah, I usually watch the inside trenches pretty well. Then you're always curious, like, okay, we got the new cat in. Like, we're like, okay, like I'm gonna actually like sit down and watch, and like, yeah, he's a mauler. He's got the right mentality, he's got the right attitude. There's a difference. Like, you can be a good lineman, but to be a great lineman, you have to be nasty. You have to be gritty, like the bone mentality we talked about. Like, you have to have that extra urge to not only win, but to physically dominate who you're going against.
Who would your most outstanding lineman nominee have been for the Elks?
So Beardo got it.
Yeah.
It's really between Beardo and Mark Corti.
Yeah.
Carter was the best. But
Carter was the best.
But
But he didn't have enough games.
He's coming halfway.
He didn't have the
like,
games.
Yeah, he would have got it hands down.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Beardo. I know he was fighting through some nagging injuries. He was going through some stuff, and maybe I just know him more personally. Might be a personal affiliation, but I know he was playing through some.
That's Corte bias, though. That's Corte bias.
Ball knows ball.
Yeah.
Ball knows ball.
But Beard's a good center. He's a great teammate. He's just a great person overall. But it was good to see him get it. And again, that's one of those guys like you want in the community. You want the Cortes. You hopefully want Carter O'Donnell staying here. You want those guys to be ingrained in the community.
Guys, local.
Yeah, that's huge.
I thank you for backing me up there because I said David Beard as well should have got it, which he did.
So did Justin.
You say so did Justin. You thought that Mark Corti had probably a better season. The only reason I would defer on that is Mark just was a little light in the butt this year. He gave up too much. Got bull rushed a little. Didn't establish that new line of scrimmage. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see the competition at camp next year. In my opinion, Mark is a center. right? He's a true center, and Beardo should be guard. Just size alone.
Yeah.
Like Mark's playing under 300 pounds. So it'll be really interesting to see how they come in next year.
It's hard to play inside in pro football under 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Even under like 315.
Yeah,
like
man.
you're just.
I'm pretty sure he's like 280. Like he is light.
Yeah, he's light.
We used to make fun of tackles that were like
he's
280.
light. Yeah.
Shout out to my boy Tommy Draheim, 285.
Yeah.
What's going on, baby?
Light. I remember this one guard. He was 280 pounds. He was pretty good. His right guard, number 51.
Yeah, made a mysterious appearance a couple games.
Yeah. He was pretty good. He held his own at 280. A strong 280 now, Deck.
Well, Matt, I mean, this has been awesome. Like, I think we probably got to wrap up here right away. Is there anything you want to leave us with? Anything we didn't touch on? Anything you want to say? Just about like the direction the team's going, the culture, how you're feeling about things.
No, I know it's going to be great next year. I'm looking forward to them hosting a playoff game at the very minimum. I know Ed's going to get the team right. Everyone's excited about the culture and stuff like that. Great things have been said about the coach, Coach Killam. I only met him a couple times, but when you hear from people you trust in the league and guys you played with, like a Calvin McCarty and other guys who cross past them, and they vouch for someone like that, you're like, okay, he's already good in my books because I trust that person to make a decision. And they say this person's going to be good for the culture, do it the right way, and be that man. Like so I'm excited for that. I think he exceeded expectations for what he had on the roster and kind of the volatility, and especially for his rookie season. But that sophomore year now we're all expecting that jump, right? So we're kind of all expecting that, at least that second seed we're hosting a playoff game, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. That's our biggest watch.
Hey, Deck, I got to say too, man, we'd be crazy not to do this before we wrap the show. Great Cup, baby. Who we got?
Oh, man, of course.
Boys? Who we got?
You know what it is? I'm so in the double E mindset. I'm not even thinking about the game.
Who we got? No, you ride or die.
Yeah.
Maddie, who you riding with this weekend?
Oh, man. I'll tell you a story. I was 2-0 in the semifinals, then 0-2 in the conference finals. So I'm not the best at this. Don't take betting advice from me. I'm pretty bad at it, but I'm going to go with Montreal.
Ooh, I like.
All right, I guess we're gonna find out. They've never lost with Davis Alexander.
No.
Like that's a crazy stat, man. 10-0. I know it's not the biggest sample size.
Even more.
Still.
I think it
might be.
I said it's 12-0, but then Gregor this morning
said
said 13-0. So I don't know, man.
All right, so we're all just making up numbers. This is what I'm.
He hasn't lost.
All right.
I'm rolling with Montreal too. I want Montreal to win, but I think Sask will win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the heart wants Montreal. Jason Moss. Yeah. If no one, if the Double E can't have that cup, get it out of the West.
McLeod Bethel Thompson.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
get him his ring.
Yeah, get him his ring. But
legend.
I love Corey Mace. I hear the world of him just from the media, from the players within the organization.
They love
just how he treats them, how they play for him, and just to see a D tackle, run the ranks, D tackle to D line coach to D coordinator to head coach, doing it the right way, stoic. I like Corey Mace, so I'd be cool if they won.
You seeing Corey Mace be a head coach is like me seeing a white guy in the NBA. Like, I can do it too. Yeah, that could be me.
Austin Reeves. Declan?
Dude, Austin Reeves right now, like if every white boy in America doesn't have a poster of Austin Reeves on there, I don't know what you're doing. Yeah, he's playing. He's playing well. He's playing well. Man, I mean, again, like anything else you want to leave off with here? No, yeah.
Grateful you could join us, Maddie.
Yeah, man, appreciate the opportunity. Awesome. Always love chatting Double E. And then, I always hated that downtime in the offseason where like you're missing that football niche. Luckily, we still got CFL, and I'm a huge college ball fan. I watch some NFL, but like college ball is my true passion. So it's like,
it's me.
You get all the CFB contention, and every Tuesday night the new rankings come out. I'm like, it's all right.
Well, hold on. Let's talk about that for a second.
But it doesn't. It's all just talking points until you get to the end game anyway. Like they're just trying to like get clicks and get likes. You're just like, this team should be ranked higher. It's like just let the season play out, and then we'll let it fall.
Are you a fan of a team specifically?
Usually I'm a fan of like coaches or players, but my older brother, he's a huge Notre Dame fan.
Okay, that's perfect. I kind
of fallen into different places, but like I just like the chaos. I'm tired of seeing the same team win every single time, the same boring scenarios. You're just like, I love the chaos. I want to see a group of 5 team in there. I want to see upsets. I like that the quarterfinals are a home playoff game. You guys something to play for. Like I love the new format.
How do you feel about Notre Dame being ranked 9th and Miami same record, 6 spots below them, winning the head-to-head?
Yeah, they won the head-to-head, but it's the 2 losses, right? Like Notre Dame barely lost to an undefeated TAMU.
Yeah, they
did. And then
at home
lost to Miami on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I feel like we're giving Notre Dame more credit for losing to Miami than we are giving Miami credit for beating them.
Yeah, but what are the 2 losses though? Are they 2 bad losses?
So they lost to Louisville and SMU, and the SMU loss was overtime.
Yeah, but they were.
No, they were not. Their team
Yeah,
was ranked, but Louisville's ranked now.
Finally, yeah. It's one of those things. It's like the Dallas Cowboys, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Just like sometimes they just get it on name alone. Granted, I don't think they're worthy of that spot right now, but if they run the table and go 10-2, and those are the only 2 losses, like those are quality losses. I hate to say the term, but when it comes to a 12-team field, like they do,
they
play,
one of the best 12 teams.
They do play a tough schedule. They play USC. They play TAMU. They played Arkansas. They
Pitt
play,
this weekend.
They play Pitt. Like everyone's like, oh, who are they playing? It's like, well, they're playing SEC teams. The SEC homers love to say like, oh, who are they playing? Like, you get tired of hearing the SEC guys beat their chest. But like, well, first of all, the Big Ten's the best conference right now. So
Big Ten is the best conference.
Is.
Let me ask you one final question. If Miami and Notre Dame finish the season with the same record, who gets in?
Miami going to the conference championship?
Let's say Miami doesn't play for the ACC title.
Maddie knows his
you're going Notre Dame.
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I would give Miami. Probably put Miami in if they went to the conference finals and even lost. Because that's that extra data
You can't penalize
because then you can penalize Notre Dame for the no conference championship. But you can see why they sit independent. They get all that money. They have all that influence. They're still a power broker from like an individual seat. But then like they go to CFP, they're getting the checks, not the whole conference, not all this stuff. Like they went to the national championship last year. Every single check went to them.
Right to
it's
them.
not split between
direct
14 or 16 conference members. That's come with me.
At the same time, though, join a conference. Like just go be a Big Ten team.
I think they lean more ACC. They've had that deal.
They pretty much playing ACC.
Like 5 games a year, but
much.
I think they'll just always stay independent. Yeah. But there's gonna be a conference realignment coming up anyway, and it's just gonna be more like siphoning to the 2 big power brokers till eventually it's just gonna be like a 30 to 40 team super league and then everyone else.
Yep.
It's kind of if you have money, if you're have or have not, your boosters throwing in millions of dollars for NIL, no. Back the line.
That's the direction.
Dude, that's what Texas Tech did this year. Texas Tech, it's a crazy story. So they have a former player who's a young guy. I think he's in his 30s, maybe 40s. I think he's in his 30s, though. But he's a billionaire now through oil. And he's a former player at Texas Tech. I forgot his name. But he basically just gave like $30 million of his own money and said, go build a roster. And Texas Tech has done it. And they're the 6th-ranked team in the country right now. Yeah. It's crazy how things can change like
all
that.
business, man.
100%.
Yeah, you can write those checks and your boosters can do that. You don't like that coach? Go away. You want this player? Here you go. It used to be undercover. It used to be the envelope with the bags and stuff. Yeah.
And the cash was minimal.
Now it's just straight up.
Yeah, it's open.
Yeah. Now it's NFL money almost.
Honestly,
look at Michigan.
Millions more than
Michigan
NFL guys.
The dude's wife wanted the 5-star quarterback, Underwood. There you go.
There you go.
Go pay him.
$12 million, I think, is what the price tag was for Bryson.
Unproven. Granted, you'd be a good high school player, but like until you start playing and start performing and stuff like that, it's just like we're just going to give you. Here's all that money because they wanted to win.
It's crazy to think about.
Man, this has been awesome, Matt. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it. This has been great. Hope we gotta have him on again. At some point for sure.
We will this offseason. We got stuff cooking.
All right. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll talk to you guys on Monday. A little Grey Cup recap. Talk some Elks signings. Love you guys. See you next time.